For more on this story, let's cross live to the French National Assembly. Laetitia Avia, a member of parliament from Macron's La République En Marche party, and who is in charge of drafting a bill regarding online hate speech. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.
Hi.
As Zuckerberg was meeting earlier, a group of French regulators and analysts issued a 33-page report. They spent weeks inside of Facebook, and they said the company just isn't working hard enough. So at this point in time, what can the French government work with Zuckerberg, or is it up to the French government to decide what rules independently of Facebook of what to do?
So what I have to say is that we've been two different groups of people working on the way to fight hate speech. So I've been working on a report 1 year ago about the means we can develop to work on hate speech, and that's what's going to help me. That's what helped me to write this bill that we're going to discuss in a couple of weeks at the Assembly, National Assembly. And also there is a group of experts from the government. They've been working this past month together to audit how Facebook works, how they moderate content. And this is going to help us to create a new regulation of content, a new regulation of all the platforms, so we can have a more preventive action. So there is the repression that I'm working on, and there is the way to prevent this content that the government has been working on.
And is it mission impossible regulating conversations between, Facebook now has 2 billion users across the planet, regulating 2 billion conversations, or a billion?
It is possible, and it is their responsibility. When you are such a big company, when you have such a big impact on everyday's life of people, when you know that your tool, the tool you are managing, can create so much harm, you have this responsibility to help people, to protect their dignity, to protect their freedom of expression. When I see people who decide to leave the social media because they see so much hate on the social media, I see this is a big defeat for everyone. It's a defeat for the democracy, it's a defeat for the government, it's a defeat for Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media. So I think they have the budget, the money, the people, or they need to have more people, more technology to really put a stand on, and to decide that they will put this fight against hate as a priority in their model, in their economic model also.
The question also is, right now, one of the suggestions that's being put forth is to have an outside regulator, perhaps the CSA, which is France's broadcast regulator overseeing things, but not an outside body to moderate the content online. Your thoughts on that?
That's exactly what is the content of the bill I'm proposing to the National Assembly. So there is a broadcast, the broadcast regulator of the CSA we have here in France, which gonna evaluate. It's today only about broadcast, but we know we are trying to work on a new regulation about digital regulation. And this regulator will have several missions. The first one will be to give some orientations to the platforms about the way they have to deal with hate speech. The second will be to investigate the different platforms, because today we don't have any information about the number of content they deal with, how they deal with, how works their different technologies. So we need to have this regulator that will go inside, that will do what the government did this past weeks, to have all information and to make some tests also to see if things are working or not. And the third mission of the regulator will be to give fines, because we know we are in an area where sometimes only money talks. And the idea is that the regulator will be able to give fines up to 4% of the global income of the platforms.
Yeah, for up to 4% fines. Laetitia Avia, we've seen in the past 24 hours this big open letter written in the New York Times by one of Facebook's co-founders, Chris Hughes, calling for a breakup of the company, that Facebook be separated from WhatsApp and from Instagram, which it owns. Do you agree with him?
I had this discussion with Mark Zuckerberg today, as we had a meeting, also a work session about the regulation of content. I understand this point of view, that is that the fact that Facebook has so many entities had also helped to create technology, to finance technology, to invest in technology which going to help to regulate hate speech. So I think there is a real problem about the hegemony of some big companies that seems to rule all the digital area today. But I also think that we really need to be very careful on this point, and to be sure that if we create small companies, we don't lose the ability to build some tools that will very help people, because what counts at the end of the day is that people, the users, they have what they need, and what they need here is protection.
Because Chris Hughes says in that piece clearly, he says, if Mark Zuckerberg speaks to you about saying things like, please regulate me, he's doing it because he doesn't want his company to be broken up.
I read Mark Zuckerberg saying a couple of times, please regulate me. It's true. He wants more regulation. We're giving him more regulation. That's what we're doing. And I think it's important that the companies take their responsibilities, but the countries, the government, takes their responsibilities too. That doesn't mean we're blind. That doesn't mean we don't see all the economic issues. You've seen that here in France, we voted a GAFA tax because we decided that all these companies, they have to pay tax in France. So we are very, very ambitious when it comes to regulating and supervising all these companies, and we will remain very vigilant.
Laetitia Avia, member of Parliament, thank you for speaking with us live here on France 24.
Thank you.